This right here could be the perfect, tiny, cheap, but yet powerful
back in that bag again. Whoa, yeah.
minimalist turntable setup. But you don't even need a maybe you're just turntable curious. So sit down, grab a cup of coffee, and let's talk about this ultra cheap, ultra convenient, ultra small little powerhouse. This, my friends, is the Knob Sound. It's also a sister company with Duke Audio. Even the box says Duke Audio on it. This is the Knob Sound NS 13G Max. It's a little Class D amplifier with tone controls, but more importantly, has a little phono stage on the back. And one of the biggest criticisms I have of these little Class D amplifiers is that they only have one input, or if they have two analog inputs, one is a balanced input and one is a single-ended input. Well, here you have two. Now granted, one of them's a phono stage, so it's only good for turntables, but at least it has another analog connection, which makes it different from a lot of other amplifiers like the Fosi Audio TB10D, which this has a lot in common with, but yet has the phono stage. This is coming in at $119 right now on the Amazon. I think you can find it on AliExpress too, but I like to buy things from Amazon. There's only 3 left in stock, so if you're looking for a minimalist turntable setup, you may want to pull the trigger. I know that 60% of you watching right now are not subscribed. It just takes a moment. Just click the subscribe button down below. You can always fire me later and take back that subscription. But I want to get to 300,000 subscribers, so please help me out. Thanks for watching. Another thing I love about this is got bass and treble tone controls. Again, reminds me a lot of the Fosi Audio TB10D on the front. But the other cool thing you get from Knob Sound or Duke Audio is a 48 volt 5 amp GAN power supply. This is powered by the Texas Instruments 3255 chipset. One of, if not the best, Class D amplifier chips available today. It's in everything. It might not be like the ultimate, might not be Hypex, but for the price, it is far and away the most natural sounding amplifier chip out there. And this has another secret, which we're going to get into later. We're going to go on a journey together. But the one thing I love about GAN power supplies is if you look at this, and then if you look at this, there's a bit of a size discrepancy. This is also a 48 volt 5 amp power supply. I would rather have this one than this one. And for it to come stock with the Knob Sound, what is the model number? NS13G Max. It's really amazing. That just rolls right off the tongue, right? Let's take a look at it compared to some of my other favorite Class D amplifiers. This is one of my favorite, the Fosi Audio ZA3s. This is what it looks like compared to that. A little bit of size differential, but the Fosi Audio ZA3 can run in mono. It also has a lot of room for heat dissipation. This doesn't have nearly as much room for heat dissipation, but it does have vents on the side and vents on the bottom, which is good. The ZA3 gonna be able to put out more sustained power. For the only thing being it has better cooling and more real estate to get the heat away from the amplifier itself. But don't despair, because chances are you're going to be able to still get very usable power out of this little thing. This is pretty much the exact same, very similar form factor to the AIYIMA A07 Max. I would show you, but I gave them away to some of my patrons. On the back, it's very simple. You have an RCA in right here. Right next to that, you have your phono stage. Next to that, you have an auxiliary out, and then you have your speaker binding posts, which are very cheap, but this is $120. And then you have your barrel connector to plug in your power supply. On the front, you have one of my favorite things besides fake VU meters and real VU meters, really. Toggle switches, old school toggle switches. You have one over here. Down here, it's off. Up here, it's in phono. Then up here, it's in RCA. And I can't overstate this enough. It has 2 analog inputs, which is amazing. Most of these little amplifiers only have 1 analog input. And then the other toggle right here is for tone on or tone off, so you can defeat the tone controls if you want. Let's see what's under the hood. Fairly clean looking board right here, and as you can see, there are 1, 2, 3 swappable op amps in here. I have no idea which one goes to what. They're TI chips, but I can't see them very well, so I gotta get in here with the camera. All right, they're a NE5532P op amp. I don't know, is that a good one? Put it in the comments. On the bottom, you have where the amplifier assembly actually mates up to the case, and it looks like there was a touch of thermal paste down there, but if you take this out, swap out the op amps, put more thermal paste on there so you make sure that you're getting the best performance you can out of this thing. Came out fairly easily though. 4 screws. So these are selling for about 112 bucks on AliExpress, about 100 bucks on eBay. Now again, if you buy from AliExpress or you buy from eBay, I have no idea what the return policy is or the refund policy. They have them on Amazon though for $120. The op amps can be rolled with dual op amps. You don't have a ton of real estate height wise, so if you want to put something in like a Sparkos or a Burson, depending upon the Burson, you got to make sure that you have enough space, or that you're cool with running it without a hood on it, or cut out a little portion, do it like that. I actually think that would be fun. If anybody ever does that and they have these huge op amps, something like these Bursons, I want to see the picture. So you have to message me or make a comment. If we put the Bursons in here, that would be sticking up like over an inch. Not gonna fit. They claim it's got some higher end parts inside. Amazon listing says it has Rubicon and WEMA capacitors, ensuring superior performance and sound fidelity. Here's the thing with this amplifier. Just the power supply alone, I think is probably worth $30 or $40, maybe even more. So if you have a fleet of these Class D amplifiers and you have some that came with a 32 volt or a 24 volt power supply, and you're looking for another one, it may be worth the price of admission alone just to get the GAN 48 volt 5 amp power supply. Sonically, this doesn't sound quite on the level as something like the V3 from Fozzy Audio, which is coming in about $80, but it also doesn't have tone controls. And if you're buying $120 or $100, if you're getting it from eBay, if you're buying $100 or $120 amplifier and phono stage, you have to have reasonable expectations. The ZA3, when I compared them, has just cleaner. Okay, better instrument separation, and can also run louder for longer with heavier loads. But all in all, I absolutely love this product, and I think it solves a problem if you have a turntable that doesn't have an integrated. Oh, by the way, the integrated phono stage in this sounds okay. Sounds a lot better than the integrated phono stage in the Audio-Technica LP 120. That sounded like complete and utter garbage. So there's this Fosi Audio phono stage that has like 2 tubes on the top, and the TB10D, which comes in around 70 or 80 bucks. So if you put those together, you're coming in at a higher price than this. The Fosi Audio phono stage with the tubes had a more robust tube-like sound. But whatever's in here wasn't terrible. I really like this product. I think it's perfect for a minimalist turntable setup, and then you can hook something up like a Wii Mini or a Wii Pro and have a whole little system for not a ton of money. The Wii Pro would cover all your streaming and your digital needs, and then this knob sound. NS13G Max would cover all your analog needs. And then you could get something like the Fluence RT82 or a U-Turn Orbit for not a ton of money, and you're set. Just add speakers. I really like this thing. I also think you'd like my best of 2024, best amps of 2024 video. I'll also put the best speakers of 2024 video right here in here if you want to check it out. Thanks so much for watching.